Yeah, hi, my name's Ken Guinea. We're just up in North Bondi and we're at 115 Maroubri Road. Yeah, I think if I look at it from an end-to-end perspective, from when we first had Oliver over, pricing, looking at the property, right through to the very end, I would say without a doubt that it would be faultless, completely seamless. Yeah, for us that was one thing that was really, really key, and the reason for that is we've got 3 children who, a lot of demands on sort of our time as well as running a really very busy business. So a lot of the times, the responsiveness and being able to get a hold of Ollie very swiftly and have questions answered very quickly was really important for us. So that was something that I would probably rate 12 out of 10. Yeah, I do. Yeah, one that sticks to mind in Sydney, we've just had some, some big storms and so on and so forth. And the signboard that's out the front of the house is, was erected by Keith, the Canadian. And I really liked that Ollie knew the detail right down to the name of the chap that was installing the sign. And after those really wild winds, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from Ollie saying, "Oh, by the way, how's your sign holding up?" Had it been knocked over, there were trees in the street that were down. The sign was actually pretty much okay, but I just really loved that touch at 7 in the morning, just saying, is everything okay? Is it knocked over? Do you need a touch? It was just an amazing performance, as you can probably see in behind here in the property, in terms of the staging pieces that were chosen by Peter and by Victoria, and they really took the time. For example, there was a couch that they had put in that wasn't quite the right size. It was a little too long. They had that swapped out. In terms of the marketing, the photography, we got so many comments from friends and people that were looking at the property just about the video that was done. I think the attention to detail for us was massively key, because it's just a sum of the parts. And for ourselves selling, we bought the place 10 years ago. We're about to buy another place. We probably won't sell that for another 20 years maybe. So for us, it was just a sum of the components, and without doubt, the execution on each of those small parts was just absolutely spot on. Yeah, that's one thing that we talked about a lot before we brought in Ollie. I think it's the breadth and the depth of the team. So having Gavin in there, with his breadth and experience and negotiating, Oliver obviously also very experienced, his ability to be able to really listen. And I mean really listen to the key points and just act with integrity. We've seen him in a number of different positions where that moral fibre, I think, is absolutely key in who you select as an agent, and that's why for us he was head and shoulders in the Rubenstein group. Remy doing the marketing, Sebastian helping out as well, Jared and doing the back office function, Peter and Ben and the team, and Tom that was doing the helping as well. That was the real key elements. It wasn't just the sum of one person, it was the sum of the entire team. And we felt that on every area, they really, to be very frank, they couldn't have done better. For us, and the service, being obviously in the service industry as well, that was massively key, that each level was just above and was just so professional. Yes, I would. And the reason for that is because I just don't think they could have done one thing better in terms of keeping us involved in the strategy of when to put it to market, how to market the property, the photos, the video, the staging, where to put the price point, and how they engaged and they treated people coming in with respect. So we answered a whole raft of questions for people coming in, and that for me was really key. And that is respect, treating buyers coming in with respect and keeping us informed at every point with stats and advice and very real examples of all sorts of feedback from people that were coming through. Those were the real key things for us. Yes, in terms of the result, we were very, very happy. It would have exceeded our expectation, very simply. And furthermore, we always felt this was a lucky house for us coming in. The owners before were lovely, and from what we understand, the new owners coming in, this is a real lovely little community down through this part of North Bondi. We know the neighbours who are excellent right through the street, and we think that the new people coming in will also be a really good fit for this little community. So in terms of the result, it's not just about the bottom line dollar, it's also about the really lovely quality people coming in.